Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for the 17th of May, starting with the ASX on the 4-hour chart here. So, I believe this correction is now finished, so we should be seeing ourselves work higher here now. We do have an impulse wave off this low here, which is promising, because if we get 5 waves in the opposite direction of the trend, then we'll see another 5 moving up here. So, wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, wave 3 and 4 will happen across this old high here, and then pushing up for 5. So, as you know, the 7,200 here, if we just go to, say, the monthly chart here, just because it's the beginning of the week, we know that this is the old high here for this. So we're going to see some sort of reaction from here. Now, this may not be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 going up through here. This can be counted in different ways up here. So, but we will see a correction in one way or another, and this could be this could actually be a wave 4 here, but it's not going to matter too much at this particular point. But that's 7,200, the 72 number is the old high here, so we should see a bit of a dance there for that. So yeah, 5 waves up. So Friday closing reasonably strong, so should see Monday to the upside as well. So we talked about going long as 1 and 2 here, and just as I mentioned, then we should see that wave 3 come across this old high here. So that's around the 7,150, the midpoint there would be a nice area for that to move up to. So we can drag this here up to the 150 roughly, and put that wave 3 there, and then we'll see a wave 4 here, and then a wave 5 moving up here somewhere. We'll just count the 5 waves that will get us there. So going from this wave 2 low here up through here, there will be a bit of a dance across the 7,100, a bit of a classic trading levels pattern we should see play out there. So we'll see something like this play out at the 7.1 area there. So the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and the correction playing out here. That's a minor level 1. The 200 is another minor level, and then this one here makes up group 1 at that point. So yeah, so from 7,000, 1, 2 and 3 make up minor group 1. So if we get a tested support on top of this level here, then I know that would be wrong and would be moving higher at that point, but would need a classic trading levels pattern at the 7,300, and then we can go along again. But our job really is just to trade up through here. We can go to the tick chart where we also looked at on the Friday here. So yeah, I'm not sure about this top here, but that doesn't matter too much. We're on the right track here for this. Whichever way I count it, I'm still left with wave 2 here, so it doesn't really matter. But this would be 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 here. And I mean, it looks like wave 5 just to this point here to me. So this may be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here, but an expanded flat in wave 2 is a bit unusual, so I really need to double check before I put my name to that. But like I said, it doesn't matter because we've got wave 2 sitting here. We've obviously talked about being long in this because we've got 2 green entries there for that. Just tidy this up a little bit as we go. That's all good. So yeah, we should see if that's wave 1, then we should see wave 3 being longer than wave 1. I've just cut them in on the same angle, so to speak, but wave 3 should be a little bit sharper, but we'll see how that plays out. And yeah, so it's all good. So in terms of, let's just grab one of these, move that, put this here, and we'll color that red, and we'll just use it for the stop. So So what I normally do, sure, we could probably count this as 1 and 2 here and 1 and 2 here for that. So one other way to do this is just taking this length here and understanding where the 61.8% is, because if this gets 5 waves up here, then it can pull back to that 61.8%. So in this case, we can just acknowledge that, and we can move this stop and put it under this wave 2 here for that, and then that would leave us safe. We're still exposed here by quite a few points, but all said and done, we should, because we've got 5 waves here, we should be pushing up further now for this. So yeah, the midpoint here at 50, we could see a little dance here. So the 2 levels that we need to get through are, well, the midpoint 50, and then also coming into group 2, which will be the 80 here for that. And we can also look at other numbers in here, so the 65, the lower end of group 2, and also there's 72 in here as well, which we normally just put a bit of splash of color in there. So yeah, so this area here will give a bit of resistance. There'll be profit taking in here, but yeah, we should be pushing higher from that point. And then above that, that's group 1 there, subgroup 1, which is 10, 20 and 30. So it's good to know that, because any correction that's going to play out at this 71 here, this will be its swing range here. So you'll need to, keep your stop out of the way. Once that 71.30, the top of group 1, becomes a tested support, then the market will be moving, will be moving up higher to the 50, but more importantly, it leaves this number here. It's finished with that number once the 30 becomes the support, once number 3, the group 1. So that means that we can move stops up at that point, but we'll wait. No need to move the stops up just yet. We should just continue to push higher. Stocks will open higher. Banks should push up. So when we're looking at banks, we'll look at ANZ first. So yeah, we're looking at this being a wave 4 to the 38.2% retracement level and an ABC and all that, and we should start to see this push up, as I've been mentioning over these days here. We're looking for the low to come in and then a push up, so that should just continue to push up. We can see that the price action supporting a push up here, because this move down through here was on diminishing volume on each bar here, so that means just the sellers are drying up there. You can see that in some indicators, but reading divergence, really, you can do that from the price and volume. So we should still expecting a move up to 30 here. So if you're long in that, that's fine. Just keep the stop under the current low here for that. CBA. So with CBA here, based on this impulse wave and based on this correction here of an ABC here, I have to label it wave 1 and 2 here, and then we're in the 3rd wave here. With the 3rd wave here, yes, it is a bit messy in here, but 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then extending out in the 5th wave here as 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and we went over this the other day. So we were looking for a bit of a wiggle and still pushing up into 98. Now it may push up into 100. Markets like psychological finishing lines, but that 98 there will also see profit taking. So if you wanted to take profit, then definitely look at that, or at least take a little bit off the table there. But I don't know, normally it just gets sucked up to the 100. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, to the resources. Starting with iron ore, that was also down another 2%. So I think that what we've got here now is we've got this 5 waves down here, as I was mentioning before, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then this would basically rock the boat for the iron ore stock. So we wanted to exit the iron ore stocks. If you're still in the iron ore stocks, that's not such a bad thing as well, because we're going to get a rally coming back up, so you could get out then. But for me, we'll just wait for this ABC to come in here, and then we'll look at what we're getting over here for this. So there's nothing really to do here for the iron ore. We just need to monitor this A wave, B wave and C wave down here. So it does put iron ore probably back at $200 because it's up at 230, I think, in Australian terms. But as far as the pattern goes, we'll look at the A, the B, and the C there for that. And not much happening with CRUDE. It's still not sitting on 65. It wants to, and it looks like it's a corrective pattern sitting here. So it's probably at some point we're going to see that pop to the upside here, because this is not impulsive to the downside, unless that's the top, but that looks like a high here for that. So it looks corrective in that point. But if that's taken out there, then you can go long on oil stocks. So copper, not much happening in copper. We're looking at an A and a B and a C wave. It's not finished yet. As we've probably looked before, we could look at a 38.2% retracement level, which still brings us back down to the 10,000 at that point. So copper's going to be weak. So that's also play on BHP as well and other stocks. While we're here, we look at the Australian dollar. Bit of a quick look here. Yeah, I think that we've got a little ABC pattern down through here. I don't have an impulse wave back up here yet, but if we get a classic trading levels pattern sitting on 78, that should just about do us to the long side. So that gives us now that that's in, that's the 50-60% retracement level. So what we need to go long here is we'll need to see the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then we'll need to see a corrective pattern here. That will be a next long trade set up for there. So we're a wee while away from that. So we'll just let that play out. Let's move on to some of our resource stocks. So Fortescue. We're looking for a wave 4 to pull back, but because of what iron ore was doing, we decided to get out, and we'll look to get back in. It may be already finished here, and I know that's damn annoying, but the iron ore is still pulling down. So we could look at this as an A wave here, a B wave here, then 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, and 5 here. So that could be the end of it here. But at the same time, iron ore's down further, so we could look at this as all of a third wave here, and then a fourth wave and a fifth wave here. So that would give us 5 waves down from the top of that point. Because I mentioned the reason of getting out for is because this correction here that we've got as an A and a B and a C here may just double in size. All of this becomes the A wave here as a flat correction, and a B wave up to hit this point, and then down for a C wave here. So we don't want to wipe out all our profits, so that's why we've gotten out there and tucked in a tidy point. I mean, if the iron ore was, the futures contract for iron ore was still pushing up, well then would stay long in this. And also too, just by the by, I use this iron ore contract here out of China because it's got more volume in it. That's all. It's a bigger exchange. Rio will be much the same as well. Rio's down a thing, so we decided to also lock in profit here as well on a few positions that we've had in here. So I'll just monitor this. I'll just see how this plays out here first. We can expect more downside here, so no biggie at this point. So we'll just allow that to play out. And US BHP, we find that the ADR here. So as I mentioned before, we can count 5 waves up. This is 1 hour chart, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, and 3rd and 4th and 5th. So yeah, we kind of have to act here a little bit. I don't have 5 waves down here just yet, but it looks like we're on track for that. So we can look at this as wave 1 here, or an A wave and a B wave here, and then this will be the 3rd wave down here. So let's just see how that plays out. If it gives us an extra move down, well then we'll have 5 waves down, and that means that we'll have a we'll have further move down in this as well. So a move down and then up and then back down again here. So that's what we'll need to look at. And we'll just see if this is actually just up for wave 1 and back for wave 2 at that point. So we still need to do a lot of work on this. So we're going to be back down at 72 sort of area for this market, and that will also put pressure on our local BHP. Where is it? There it is there. So once again, you know, if we can count USB BHP up for 5 waves, then we'll have to look at this being up for 5 waves. So it's possible to have a top in there. Just seems a bit weird, really. Just seems rather small compared to this one and this one. I can see that they're diminishing, as I've mentioned before. Wave 1 is humongous, and wave 3 is probably a bit smaller, and then wave 5 is really quite small. So yeah, just sort of scratching my head on that one for a little bit, but you can be out of that now for the time being. Unless you're a longer term trader, then this is really just a dance at the 50 in the bigger picture, and will eventually push higher for those there. Alrighty, oh, gold, we didn't look at gold, did we? But so gold's pushing up nicely, just on the 1 hour chart. I've got it as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. We've been building in trades for this, but also too, it means that you can trade long in your gold stocks, long as they're, you know, making a bit of an effort to push up as well, in line with this market. You know, if they're still if you've got a gold stock and it's still trending down, you know, you don't want to be going into that. I've picked Newcrest because it's it's such a big stock, and you know, it's been lifting off as well. We could count it as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's been consolidating here as well. Has that been consolidating on lower volume? Let's just go to the weekly chart here for a moment. Not really seeing any increased volume there, but we'll just hang in there for a while. We'll just see how it plays out. I've got some skin in the game on this one, so that makes it a bit more interesting to for me as such. But what I'd really like to see is a nice impulse wave off here. We've gone long on this because of US spot gold, but what I would like to see is an impulse wave to the upside, and I don't have that yet. Just don't have a full 5 wave structure there yet. Anyway, let's just see how this plays out. I mean, I don't think there's no point in getting out of this. Why gold's still pushing up is there. So having a position below the 30 and then building on top of the 30 is really what we're sort of wanting to do here, and then we'll be from the 30, we'll end up at the 40, and we'll just continue to work that. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. Cheers.